Hello and welcome to my tutorial. First of all, I'd like to thank you for being here and for choosing one of my products. And I'm sorry for my language because English is my second language. I'm from Greece. I'm making spreadsheet templates for almost 8 years now. And this is a template that I've actually created for a small business over here. So I hope that you will enjoy it. And try to create it with every need that a beauty business would have. So without any further delay, let's start directly by explaining every part, tab and feature of this template. So just like any other template, our first tab is the README instructions tab, which contain detailed instructions and guidance on how to use this template. It also has an index over here, which just by hovering your mouse over a cell will take you directly into the area of the selected tab. Also contain step-by-step guidance, explanations, and everything you need. Besides that, every tab, if you notice on the upper right corner, contain a small plus symbol, which by clicking it, yes, okay, here, the tab's instructions will be within the same tab. So feel free to use it in any way you prefer. After reviewing the instructions, you have to visit the setup page. Setup page is the tab where you have to set everything that has to do with your business in order for template to update drop-downs, currency symbols, dates, and any calculation the template requires from you based on your business workflow. So this section has a few cells up here where you have to set your currency symbol. Just by clicking into the cell, you can set any currency symbol and the whole template will update it. The first date which the template should start counting from, in our case January 1st, could be September, could be March, could be anything. Default income tax rate, in case you have. If you don't have, simply set it as 0. Okay. Similar for expense and invoice. Then we have the unit cost calculated based on either average price or latest price. Practically here, you're letting know the template if the unit cost should be calculated based on the average price. For example, if you have 5 invoices, we'll sum all 5 and divide them by 5 in order to figure out what the average price for that item. Either by latest price. Feel free to choose whatever you want. Also, an option to select between net and total amount, on what amount the commissions for your employees should be calculated from. Lastly, quick start day either by Sunday or Monday. Feel free to set the one you prefer. Next, we have the main categorization. Over here, under retail product subcategories, you have to list all your products. Every product your business might have can be listed here. You can list up to 42 products. Okay, and the template will have them in order to work with them. Next, we have two main categories: income and expenses. On the income, you have a few sections where you can preset main categories with their subcategories. For example, service revenue. You can list any service revenue subcategory you might want to track into the template. Memberships and subscriptions, classes and workshops. Also, this one can change. Feel free, in case you need more memberships and less service, you can switch them. For example, you can use this one over here and make this service. Service and revenue. Okay, feel free to adjust them as you like. You have 7 main categories, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, with their subcategories. This giving you the option to submit all your finances into the template. For example, if I go on income to make an entry. Let me come over here. I have selected the main category, let's say class and workshops, certification courses, client name if I have, quantity, amount. Okay, so it's important in order to categorize everything. Similar with the expenses. The expense category with the risk categories. Feel free to delete them, adjust them, or change them. Assuming that you've set everything in your products, incomes, and expenses, below we have payments method, where you can list all your payments method, order status, appointment status, and follow-up actions. Feel free to adjust them as you like. The template has a few predefined as samples. You can use them or you can change them. Now that we've set everything on the setup page, let's go directly into the client's database. Client's database is a database where you can list all your clients by submitting their name, email address, phone number, address in the client details section. Under client metrics, as you can see, it's color coded, so there is no need to submit anything. The template does every calculation and run formulas in order to bring the results here. For example, you can find when was the first visit, when was the last visit, how many visits that client made in total, and what revenue brought into your business. All that automatically based on your entries in the other tabs. Next, you can set a follow-up action in case you want to track something for that client, when's the follow-up date, and any notes. Also, by selecting a client name, the template will highlight it, and you can find any follow-up action by selecting it here, and the template will highlight it also. So that's pretty much everything about the client's database. Feel free to list all your clients and track their details. Next, we have appointments. In the appointments, you can track all the appointments you want for your business by submitting the date, the time, the service that you offer, the duration, the price for that service for the appointment, the client name, if you assigned any employee, notes, and status. You can also highlight the client name by using the highlight finder over here, and that's it. Before we go on the task tracker tab, one important thing that I should mention is that date, which is underlined time, service, and client name as status 2 are important columns and should be filled. Also, you will notice that there is a small note over here which contains a light bulb which says something about this section. For example, checkbox column. This column is left open for custom use depending on your workflow. You can use it to mark appointments that are confirmed by the client, appointments that have been reviewed or logged, payments that were already invoiced or processed, or any other internal task you've completed related to that appointment. Which means feel free to use it as you like. Okay, always don't forget to review the small notes, either with light bulb or not, to read any extra details that section has. Let's go now on the Task Tracker tab. Task Tracker tab is also a pretty straightforward tab where you can track all your tasks by submitting the task name, the client that has to do for this task, the priority, due date. Due date is important in order to get notifications on the calendar tab, which will review it later, assign status, if assigned to any of your employees, and any notes. Again, you will notice a light bulb up here. Also, keep in mind that a task that marked as completed considered as done. And that's everything about the task tracker. If you have any question or you need anything while using it, or you face any issue, don't hesitate to contact me, either through my Etsy store, under this video as a comment, through my website chat, email, anything. Feel free to contact me. And that's everything about the task tracker. Let's go now on the employee summary tab. In this tab, you can list all your employees and see what revenue they brought into your business, any expense that tagged into them, the commission that they earned, the commission that you paid to them, and the outstanding commission. Also see their salary, their bonus, any tips, overtime, holiday, and what you total paid to that employee, what's the cost for your business, and what's the profit from them, which means based on what sale assigned to them and what you paid them, the template will calculate the profitability for your business by this employee. I think it's very useful in order to see what they sell, what they cost, and everything about that employee. Also, all these results can be filtered based on the date range that you will set here. This is very helpful if you want to track your employees over a specific period of time. Further below, there is a small payroll calculator, which has standard these 6 options, where you can set a rate and hours in order to calculate the total and any deductions this employee have, giving you the net pay. Also, over here you will see a transaction finder, which filter the sales made or payments and expenses of a selected employee, which can be filtered also by date range in order to give you every transaction that assigned into this employee, either it's sale, either it's expense. So that's everything about employee summary. Again, all you have to do is set your date range, everything will be updated automatically, and list their names here. Next, we have Orders and Suppliers section. Orders and Suppliers section is a tab which gives you the option to track all your suppliers and the orders. Starting with suppliers, all you have to do is submit the supplier name, contact person, email, phone, address, and an important note about that supplier. It's just a database where you can list all your suppliers in order to achieve consistency over the whole template. On the left, under Orders and Suppliers, you can track all your orders, starting by submitting the order date, the order ID, the supplier name based on the list you created here, the product that you bought from the supplier, when is the delivery date, and the order status. You can also submit the quantity that you've ordered, the unit cost, and the template will calculate the total cost. Also, you have a section for notes. The template will highlight the overdue dates, but also the dates that is for today. For example, now we know easily with this section that's highlighted with green that this product from this supplier should be delivered today. So it's an easy way to track all your orders and their details. Let's go now on the Inventory and Management tab. Here, automatically the template will list all the products that you submitted on the setup page, and you have to submit the initial stock and minimum stock that you'd like to get notifications about when fall below the number. So we submit that for argan oil conditioner, we have 16 pieces as initial stock when we start using this template, and the minimum stock that we want is 10. So every number below 10 is low stock and a 0 is no stock. Also here we can see the current stock. For example, coconut body lotion, we have right now 20. We are in stock because our minimum stock is 15. Also, we can see how many we received, no matter the initial, how many we sold, the total cost for the items, and the total sales for each product. Also, profit per unit. Profit per unit is calculated based on if the unit cost is calculated by average or latest price, and the sale price we sold it. Also, over here, another automated section shows us how many pieces and when was added. Up here you can see the total value of current stock, and that's pretty much everything. So in this tab, all you have to do is submit your initial stock and your minimum stock number for each product. Nothing else, everything else is color coded, which means it's automatic sections. Before we jump into the finance part of this template, let's go on the Invoices tab. In this tab, you can track all the invoices your suppliers issued towards you. It's not the invoices that you issue for a sale. So you can track the invoice number, which is very important to submit it, the date, the supplier name, and this column will automatically calculate if that invoice is fully paid, unpaid, part paid, or overpaid. However, gives you the option of a drop down which can be used for cancelled. However, keep in mind that since this cell is color coded and contains a formula which leads to an automatic calculation, by making a manual entry, practically will overwrite the formula. So even by deleting it, the formula will no longer work. So make sure that you select cancelled only if it's absolutely necessary. Otherwise, select a cell above or below and drag it to the cell that you select the cancelled and you want to use again the automatic calculation. Next, for dates, we have date received and due date, where you can submit the date that you received the invoice and when is the due date. Due date also, as you can see, it is underlined, which means it's an important column. So don't forget to submit it in order to get, again, notifications into the calendar tab. Next, we have the paid amount column, when was the last payment, and the due amount, which is color coded and will be calculated automatically based on the paid amount you submitted over here. After that, you have to submit the discount, if there is any discount, the tax amount, and the total amount. The template then will calculate the subtotal, discount, and tax amount automatically based on these two percentages and the total amount. There is no need to make any manual entry. Also over here, it's color coded. Then the payment method. Assign the payment method that you used or you will use for that invoice and submit any notes. Also up here, you will notice that the total invoices that submitted, how many of them fully paid, and the invoices that submitted as fully paid but didn't submit as an expense. This is very important because every template that is fully paid should also submit it as an expense in this tab in order to calculate it on your finances. So make sure that besides the tracking system for invoices, to track that expense once fully paid. So let's go now into income and expense entries tab. In income entries tab, you have submit anything that brings money into your business. When that transaction made, the invoice ID number, the main category, which should select it first, and after you can select the subcategory, the client name, if you want to submit, any description, the quantity, the unit price, any tax percentage, and the template will calculate the total net and tax amount. Also, if for that income you have any employee that is responsible, and if you want to assign a commission to that employee. Also, the payment method and any notes. Keep in mind that by submitting a commission to that employee, the commission will be applied into the amount that you assigned here, total or net amount. So make sure that you made the right selection into the setup page, so every calculation being right. And that's everything about Income Entries tab. It's a database where you submit all your incomes. Similarly, for expense entries, you have to submit the date, invoice, the category and subcategory, any description, the quantity and unit price, any tax percentage, and total net and tax amount will be calculated automatically. Any employee that is responsible for that expense, the payment methods and notes. Keep in mind that by not submitting any quantity, the template assumes that this equals to 1. Okay, so by leaving it empty, the template will calculate it as 1. So that's everything about income and expense entries. It's tabs where you submit every income and expense your business does. Either it's payment of an invoice, either it's a sale, either it's a payment to your employee. Everything have to submit it here in order to get accurate summaries and reports. Starting with monthly report. Monthly report tab, it's a tab where all you have to do is to select which month you'd like to see, the year, and what amount you'd like to view, total, net, or tax amount. And the boards below will update it accordingly, showing you the main category with their subcategories and the amounts. The bold ones up here summarize the subcategories amounts. Also, besides the income and expense main boards, we have the inventory board, which show for the selected month and year, for each product, what was the initial quantity, what you received, what you sold, and the difference, showing you the unit cost, cost of goods sold, and the stock value. Also, over here you get summaries for total sales, for total purchases and total sales, and cost of goods sold. Also, two graphs over here can be changed by using the drop down for each one. On the left, there is another summary bar showing the total income, total expenses, net income, tax income, profit and loss, and month's profit goal. And that's everything about the monthly report tab. Let's go now on the 12-month period tab, which is working just like monthly report tab, but for 12 months. Selecting the amount type up here, the template, calculate, everything else. So we select total amount, and we can see for each main category, summarize for each subcategory. By using the minus plus symbols on the left, you can hide and hide every subcategory for each category. We use this hide and hide for space efficiency. Of course, if you want, you can have everything opened, but as you can see, are too many, makes the template huge. So feel free to use it as you like. That's applied for income, but also for expenses. Also, further below, we have a section with cash flow month by month, showing you the net income and total expenses, giving you the monthly profit for each month, along with monthly profit goal and goal progress. Also, you can see the year-to-date profit and year goals progress over the annual goal you've set on the goals and projections tab that we will review later. Lastly, at the bottom, you will find an inventory movement overview, which show by each month what you received, what you sold, and the difference for each one of the products. And that's everything about the 12-month overview tab. Let's go now directly into the custom view tab. Custom view tab is working just like monthly and 12-month period, but giving you the option to track and review up to 4 periods. So all you have to do is select again the amount type that you want to review in the whole tab and set your periods. For example, for period 1, we want from 1st of January till the end of January. For period 2, we want from 1st of February till the end, and similarly for March and April. So you can have summaries for up to 4 periods, compare them, and review them based on the selected period. Also, you can review each period by 15 days or 16, 17. Any period you want can be used in order to review the finances over here. Also, select which 2 periods you want to compare and review on the border at the right. For example, you can review period 1 or 2 with period 4. Period 2 with period 4. So you can compare them easily, seeing if increased or decreased each category. So again, I think it's pretty easy and gives you flexibility to review all the finances for the selected period. Lastly, since you can review up to 4 periods, this tab gives you the option to select which periods you want to get summarized up here. In case you want just the first one, leave only the first one selected, and the template will summarize only this period, showing you the total income and net income only for this one. Or you might want both. Okay, again, it's very easy. Select the amount type, compare the periods that you want on this section, and set your period date range, and the template will update everything. Again, just like 12-month period, on the left here you have the plus symbols where you can hide and hide all the subcategories for each main category. Let's go now on the balance tab. Balance tab showing you on each payment method that you submitted on the setup page, and based on every entry you submitted on the income and expense entries, what's the current income, expenses, the payments that partially made, and the current balance. Also shows you the due amount. That's an easy way to see what you have and what you owe you. So that's an easy way to see what you have and what they owe you. Also, partial payments are the amounts that submitted on the invoices as paid amount, which means isn't fully paid yet in order to submit it as an expense. Which means here you can see that you have an amount of total of $2,000, which isn't fully paid in order to submit it as an expense yet. Okay, so that way you know anytime what they have paid you and what they owe you. Also, you can set and filter all these results based on a specific date range. You can either set today or select another date range. Okay. Also, feel free if you want to see the total or net amount for each income or expenses. And that's pretty much everything about this tab. Lastly, if you want to have the maximum range, feel free to use a year that is old enough in order to have everything from 2000 till today. Okay, and that's a balance tab. Summarize everything for each payment method. Next, let's go directly into Goals and Projections tab. In this tab, you can set goals for each month by setting income goal, expense goal, net profit, and units that you would like to sell for this month. By submitting your goals, you will get reports on what you achieved actually, either it's income, either it's expense, net profit, or sales, but also you will get a projection for a 48 months based on the starting month over here. We've set January of 2026 and we have till the December of 2029. So the template brings the actual income, expense, net profit, and sales, and all you have to do is to set your desired income growth rate, expense growth rate, and desired sales. From here, the template calculates the next month based on these entries, showing you where you are and what you actually achieved. That's a great section if you want to make a projection of how your year will close. Also, you get summaries up here along with tabs, along with some graphs, and a graph over here showing you the month's goal allocation for each one of the selected months. Now we review every tab. Let's go on the two most important tabs in order to have the control on every aspect of your business. The Smart Calendar tab is a tab which shows you what you have for any month and year that you've selected from up here. For example, let's see what we have for May of 2026. Over here we see that we have only these three with these dates. Also, we can select which entries we want to view. Keep in mind that calendar displays invoices which has a due date, okay, also appointments which is also have a date, but also a task with a due date also assigned, and your orders with the delivery date. That way, in the calendar, you see invoices, appointments, orders, and tasks, everything in one place. Let's go on a month with even more. In case for a month you'd like to see just the invoices, simply leave clicked only the invoices, and you see that you have the invoice 013 from supplier 9 of $25 at 16th. Also, this invoice at 28th of July. Okay, also you can select to view orders, tasks, and appointments. Keep in mind that from here you can assign what entries you'd like to get into the calendar, which is summarized also in ascending order based on date over here. Also, each entry has its own color and a few details. For example, this is a task because it has a checkbox in front, giving you the task, the priority, and the status. Okay, priority and status. Also, the appointments, giving you the client name, the service, and what time of that date. Similarly, for order, you're waiting at 19th of July, 16 hairsprays. That way, you get notifications and a way to track everything by date, along with today's notification section up here that shows you what you have for today, which seems today we should receive 24 face cream. Okay, you can navigate in any month and any year you want with this calendar. So all you have to do is select month and year and select which one of these four you'd like to view into the calendar. Last but not least, we have the dashboard tab. In this tab again, you can set a date range or select between today, yesterday, last 7 days, this month, last 30 days, last month, all time, or custom range, and get summaries for the selected period from here, showing you the total revenue, net revenue, expenses, any outstanding invoices, what you paid your employees, the net profit and profit margin, giving you also a few graphs. Also below, there is a section with all upcoming events where you can set which ones you want to view and choose between today, tomorrow, next 3 days and next 7 days. So now we know that within the next 7 days, we have only this one that we are waiting to receive today. Okay, there is also a graph showing you 12-month cash flow month by month, which by hovering your mouse over the graph, you can see the amounts. Also, a small board here showing you the most frequent clients, the first-time clients for this month, any stock alert option showing you the low and no stock, products and current stock. Also a section where you can view clients who haven't visited in, you can set any number you want, so feel free to use it as you'd like. And a section for follow-up clients where you can select a date range and follow-up action in order to get the client name over here along with follow-up date and follow-up action. Also, you will notice for the client that will be displayed here based on the filter over here, you will get an arrow which by clicking it will take you directly into that client entry in order to make any change or adjustment you might want. Okay, so that's pretty much everything about this template. I hope that explained everything properly, even that I'm speaking terribly. So if you have any question or if there is anything that didn't clarify it properly, please send me a message. I'm always checking my messages daily, even on weekends, and I replied within 24 hours. So thank you again, and I'm at your disposal. Until next time, bye and take care.